Guys, it's Bro You Whack, and this is gonna be one of the last times that I talk about 6v6. Not because I hate talking about it, but because I fully believe that come Season 15, they will make 6v6 permanent in Overwatch 2. Now, as of right now, Blizzard has still stated that 6v6 is only in their experimental phase. They brought it into Overwatch 2 with the classic 2-2-2 comp, and then later they will bring the min-max comp where you have to have a minimum of 1 role played and a maximum of 3 heroes from each role be played. But why am I so confident that 6v6 is not only going to be coming back into Overwatch 2, but fully replacing 5v5 as the permanent mainstay mode? Well, there's two main reasons. The first reason that is kind of forcing Blizzard's hand as to decide what they want to do with 6v6 versus 5v5 is the fact that they need something to not only bring players back into playing Overwatch 2, but to also, more importantly, promote Season 15, where they typically reserve that season in February for competitive. Back earlier this year in Season 9, this was the competitive season. It didn't have a brand new hero, and I believe that it didn't even have a brand new map, but what it did was kind of revamp competitive. It brought Jade weapons, it brought a new competitive system, and it was supposed to be a fresh new start for players, both literally because they reset everybody's rank, and also figuratively because this was supposed to be a new era of competitive. But come Season 15, they're probably going to be doing that exact same thing. A rank reset to bring in new competitive rewards, but we've already kind of experienced that. But something that we haven't experienced yet, well, I guess we kind of have experienced 6v6 in competitive in Overwatch 1, but in Overwatch 2, we have never experienced 6v6 in competitive, only in quick play. Because if they were just to bring a regular competitive season and nothing else, people that are playing Marvel Rivals are going to look over the shoulder and be like, oh, I already played that. And then just go back to playing their overpowered Hela and Hawkeye. Does Blizzard want to bring back 6v6 because they feel like it'll make the game a little bit better? Well, that's still up in the air. I mean, they've been saying for months now that they're hesitant on bringing back 6v6 unless that's what's good for the game. But at this point, they won't have a game if they don't have any players. That's why I said that Marvel Rivals is kind of forcing Blizzard's hand when it comes to 5v5 and 6v6 because they don't have the luxury of doing what's better for the game, but rather what the community wants. And I would say there's more people begging for 6v6 than there are people pleading for 5v5 to stay. Whether 6v6 is better for Overwatch 2 rather than 5v5, it kind of doesn't matter at that point when it comes to marketing the game and also trying to bring people back into the game because they need that special something. They need that talking point. And well, 6v6 will do that. Not only will it get people talking when saying, hey, did you hear that 6v6 is coming back in Overwatch 2? Oh, really? Is it coming in competitive? Yeah, they're going to be bringing it back for Season 15, but it'll also put to rest the people that say that Marvel Rivals is better because they have 6v6, when it's like, okay, is it really better because they have that extra tank, or that extra slot rather? Maybe not, but at least it'll put that argument to rest. But now begs the question, well, is 6v6 actually better than 5v5? Is this what Overwatch 2 needs, but also does competitive need 6v6? And that's why it's my second reason as to why I think 6v6 is going to be coming back permanently into Overwatch 2, and it's all because, god dang, I'm kind of surprised I'm admitting this, 6v6 is really good in Overwatch 2. And this is where the comment section will burst into flames with arguments. This is where we can all go at each other's throats when trying to argue for 6v6 and 5v5. Now, I want this to be very clear. I was neither a 6v6 or a 5v5 sexual before they brought it back. I was just simply a bi-curious boy when trying to figure out what would be better for the game. Now that I say that, that sounds wrong, but my statement still stands. Was I hesitant when I heard that 6v6 would solve all of Overwatch's 2 problems? Absolutely. But when 6v6 finally came into the game and it brought all of those hero changes, most notably the tank changes, and I got to playing and I noticed, hey, wait a minute, I can actually kill the tanks. Hey, wait a minute, I can actually get some kills and not just have this stagnant fight. Hey, wait a minute, this feels really good. Normally, I'm able to convey my thoughts when it comes to the game of Overwatch, but 6v6, man, this is one of those things where I don't know the right words as to describe why it just feels good. It just does, and I know it felt good, pause, because I would accidentally queue up for 5v5, and I wouldn't know that I was playing 5v5, and I'd be playing like, oh my god, what's up with this game? The tank's not dying, we're not pushing, this just doesn't feel right. And then I notice, oh wait, this is 5v5, and then I go back to playing 6v6, and it's like, dang, this feels really good. Now, obviously, the games aren't as balanced as, say, if it was in competitive, because we just have a wide variety of different ranks and levels of play in that 6v6 mode, but when it does feel like an even match, or even when you do steamroll, man, it feels great. And surprisingly, I think a reason as to why it feels so good to play 6v6 is because the tanks are actually killable. Even if both supports do decide to pocket that single tank, well then you can just focus on the other tank that also has less HP, that also is less effective in 6v6. And even if the supports are just focusing both tanks, well then there's the 2 DPS that you can just shift your focus on. Like, I genuinely thought 6v6 was just going to bring this bunker type style where no teams were going to be able to push each other, and maybe just because the games are so uneven that you do have moments of either getting steamed or steam yourself, but it just doesn't really feel like what I thought it was going to be, and that's a good thing. I actually feel like I can kill things. Tank, DPS, support, doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to just ignore the tank anymore and focus on the supports. I can try to get anybody who's anybody on the field. Now, is 6v6 perfect? Absolutely not. Like, an issue that I could definitely see happening is that supports are going to have to divvy up their attention a lot more because there is that extra person. Not only that, that extra tank that has a lot more health that needs that sustainability because they've kind of lost it now. They're no longer the solo tank. They can't just stand at the front, tank all the damage, and be a damage dealer themselves. No, they're a little fragile guy now. That can also be an issue in itself. Tank players won't feel like this all-powerful being like how they did in 5v5. Like, even when I played Diva, I found myself feeding a lot more because not only did I have less health, but also I didn't have as much abilities to be able to just sustain myself. But 6v6 is always going to have its problems, just like how 5v5 is also going to have its own problems. We just have to find the game mode that has the least amount of problems, and well, I think the community is kind of in agreement here when saying that 6v6, while it has its problems, it feels good to play. Like, every single person that I played 6v6 with, they said that, yeah, this is the better version of Overwatch. They need to keep 6v6 permanently. Now, that's not playing the next 6v6 type of experiment, which is the min-max comp, where we have 3 roles be playable at max and 1 role be played at minimum. Maybe that would be even the better version of 6v6. Who knows? But that's why I began the video when saying that just from a marketing standpoint, I really do think that 6v6 will be brought back permanently, or at least for the competitive season for season 15, because it's a selling point. It gets people playing the new season, and that's what Blizzard needs. Season 14, it was a flop just because it came out at the worst time, right after Marvel Rivals release. But if they can fix their mistakes and give the community what they want, which is not only 6v6, but also microtransaction, heroes, cinematics, all the things that we've been begging them to do, then they can get those players back from Marvel Rivals. And that's what they need to focus on. And it can all start in season 15 with changing how the competitive system works, because as of right now, it's not that good. And this would just be a simple flip of a switch. Maybe you gotta balance out Zarya, maybe you gotta balance out a few more tanks or DPS characters, but as of right now, this is a change that they could make tomorrow if they want to do. But who knows what Blizzard's gonna do, because they think they know best, and well, it's coming to bite them in the butt. But until they decide to be smart, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about 6v6 or 5v5, and I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys, and bye.